warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In the beginning, I would like to welcome and thank every one of you for making the effort to attend this defense. Our defender for the day is Mr. Maher. Maher is a certified professional mechanical engineer who works with Evolution Engineering Company. His defense for the day will be about the nonlinear analysis of Helmholtz resonators. His presentation will take around 30 minutes. Then we will have a session for Q&A. So please take your notes and feel free to share it with us. Later on, he will have the private defense with the committee. And in this regard, I would like to welcome the committee for the day, starting with his advisor, Dr. Muhammad Hawa. Welcome, Doctor. And the pride of our department, Professor Yahya Khalif. Welcome, Doctor. And last but not least, Dr. Fadi. Welcome, sir. So for taking from your time. And now I will give the floor for Maher. So Bismillah ar-Rahman, please.
Thank you, Khalid. Bismillah ar-Rahman, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. This is Maher. Today I'm going to talk about non-linear analysis of dual Helmholtz resonators. My presentation will be conducted to talk about 5 different sections. Firstly, we'll talk about introduction, the methodology, linear analysis, non-linear analysis, then the last will be the conclusion. So here we go for the introduction. What is acoustic science? Acoustic science is that science which deals with waves, propagation, amplitude, frequency, and their complex effect information. Basically, there are multiple applications for acoustic science, starting from music, geologic, atmospheric, as well as medical and structural effects. Here we will talk about acoustic attenuators before listing the objectives of this study. The acoustic attenuators varies based on the configuration and the design of the attenuators. There are different types of acoustic attenuators we can talk about. The first one is the absorptive attenuator. The absorptive attenuator or dissipative is mainly depending on the material. So certain frequency can be tuned by a certain thickness of the material. Mainly it's used in the HVAC application. The second type of acoustic attenuator is the reactive. From its name, you can know that it's using the mechanism of reflection or anti-resonance. Basically, the membrane and the cavity can be tuned to attenuate certain frequency. Mainly it's used also in fixed speed machinery. The last type is the active. The active one talks or use the microphone, the speakers, as well as the sensors to suppress the sound attenuation or the sound problem. One of the background for this that it does not control broader range of frequency. Lastly, it's mainly used in engines and pumps. Our main purpose for this study is our Helmholtz resonator. Helmholtz resonator has been commonly described as neck and cavity. So the neck represents the mass and the cavity represents the spring. Mainly, it's attenuating certain frequency. And we can say this is one also of the backbone of the Helmholtz resonator, that it only works on a certain frequency. Now, seeing the objectives. The objectives of this presentation is to cover the gap of the Helmholtz resonator in the following topics. Basically, when I review the work that has been done in the Helmholtz resonator, I found some people work on the dual Helmholtz resonator under linear analysis. Others work for single Helmholtz resonator under non-linear. So I said, why not to combine both studies, the non-linearity as well as for the multi-Helmholtz resonators. So this is one of the purposes, and we will see what is the benefits of the non-linearity. The second purpose of this study is also to check out how the transfer of energy can be found out for this Helmholtz resonator using some apparatus called Contube, which we will see in the following slides. Now, moving toward the methodology of this presentation. This presentation will be talking about 6 different configurations of Helmholtz resonator. The first one is the linear, single Helmholtz resonator. The second one is also linear, but for dual. The third one is non-linear for single. The fourth one is non-linear for dual. The fifth is non-linear single Helmholtz resonator with Contube, which is basically belong to the energy transfer phase And here also energy transfer phase, but for a dual. Some of these configurations have been already studied and published papers. According to them, I have found the same results that they have obtained, and I added my contribution, which we will see on the following slides. Now moving toward the linear section. Linear analysis. As mentioned, linear analysis, what's the meaning of linear analysis? Linear means that there is a linear relationship between the applied force as well as the damping or stiffness terms. Here we will see the resonance frequency and the transmission loss for each section. We will talk about single, then the dual as mentioned in the methodology. Let's start with the single. Single Helmholtz resonator, as mentioned, it is represented by mass and cavity. Here, the resonance frequency. This is a classical model of Helmholtz resonator. This is the cavity, which is the spring, and this is the neck, which is the mass. This is the equation of motion for this classical model Helmholtz resonator is found in equation number 1, which is defined in Salam in 2010. Here, by applying the Newton's second law, we can find that this is the mass times the acceleration equals to the force. After doing some derivation, this is the linear natural frequency of the Helmholtz resonator, which depends on the speed of sound, on the area of the neck, length of the neck, the volume of the cavity. And we can see from equation number 2, which is defined by Salami, that there's an inverse relationship between the resonance frequency or natural frequency as well the volume or the length of the neck. We will see this on the class. Right? Moving toward the transmission loss. What is transmission loss? Transmission loss represents the difference between the incident wave as well the transmitted wave. Also, it has been derived and found in equation number 3 by Salami that transmission loss depends on the area, volume, wave number, which is 2 pi over the wavelength, as well as the area of the duct. Moving toward numerical solutions by MATLAB. Here is the effect of the length of the neck on the resonance frequency. As mentioned in equation number 2, there is inverse relation. And it's here also obvious that when the length was 8.5, the resonance frequency was around 100. However, it moves to around 150 when the length is decreased to be to 3.5. What about the cavity volume? Also the same. You can see here also the volume of the cavity when it was 3,700 centimeter cube, the resonance frequency was around 120. However, it decreases when increasing the volume to be 11,000. After finishing this classical model, let's talk about dual Helmholtz resonator. Dual Helmholtz resonator, basically, what is the benefit of studying dual Helmholtz resonator? It attenuates 2 resonance frequency instead of 1. So this is one of the main advantages for dual Helmholtz resonator. So dual Helmholtz resonator, we will also look at the resonance frequency, transmission loss, and we will obtain the results. Here is the dual Helmholtz resonator. This is the first, and this is the second mass and cavity. Also applying the Newton's second law by Salami, he has found that these are the first equation of motion for the first mass and cavity. This is the second, and here is the coupling term as we see here. Now, after deriving also the equation of motion, here is the equation of motion for this configuration of dual Helmholtz resonator. It depends on the geometries of the Helmholtz resonator, as we see, area, length, volume of each, 1, 2, and so on, as well as on the speed of sound. So, also the type of fluid can also affect the system. And by the way, the fluid that is used here in this study is air. Now, transmission loss also has been defined as equation number 7, depends also on the geometries as well as the wave number. Now moving toward the results. Here is the 2 resonance frequency instead of only single resonance frequency that is found on the classical model. So this is one of the advantages that it attenuate and control 2 resonance frequencies, 75 and 161. The second thing is what is the effect of the area ratio on that range of resonance frequencies. What I mean in the area ratio? I mean that the area of the first neck to the area of the second neck. If I increase the area, that ratio, the first with respect to the second, will the range increase or decrease? Let's see. Basically, I have found that when the area ratio was less than 1, which means the area of the first neck is less than the area of the second neck, the range is increased. As we see here in the blue, it's around 45, and the second around 155, so it increases. However, when the area ratio increases, like in the red or in the yellow, the range of resonance frequency shrunk to each other, so it comes closer. So from that, we can control at which resonance frequency we need to talk about. Now finalizing the linear analysis, which is only introduction for our main purpose, which is non-linear, as mentioned in the topic for video itself. Non-linearity, as mentioned, means that there is a non-linear relationship between the force as well as the damping and stiffness. One of the main advantages, it enhances the performance of the Helmholtz resonators. So, how the results will be conducted in the following configurations. We will talk about bifurcation and chaos. Then we will see the frequency and time of sleep. Bifurcation and chaos are mainly or commonly applied and studied for nonlinear systems, and we will define this strange, let's see, phenomena in the following slides. 4 different cases, as mentioned in the methodology, will be conducted. The first one is the single under nonlinear analysis, which is also studied before by Vergas from France in 2017. Then I will add here my contribution for his study. So I apply the dual. Then we will see the energy transfer, also by Vergas, but in 2018. Then I will add also my contribution on his work here by Brown, those 2 physics. Let's start by single Helmholtz resonator. As mentioned, single Helmholtz resonator is represented by mass and cavity, and here the nonlinearity will enhance the performance. The governing equation of motion will be obtained right now. Then the result by numerical solution by MATLAB will be found. The governing equation of motion. What is our test apparatus? This is the test apparatus. Basically, here is the applied force, and here is the Helmholtz resonator. This is the neck, and this is the mass. This is by Vergas 2017. Now, this is the equation of motion for this Helmholtz resonator. This is the mass term, the damping linear term, the damping non-linear. Here is the stiffness linear term, and here are the non-linear stiffness term, which are quadratic as well Q. And here is the applied force at the beginning of the Helmholtz resonator. Now, what are these constants represent or parameters? Here are these parameters. This is the mass, which is the density times the area times the length. Here is the damping linear. Here is the natural frequency. And if you remember, gentlemen, that this natural frequency has been identified in the classical mode when we started our presentation, and here also the specific heat ratio. So yes, the fluid also affect our study. Here the specific heat ratio, which represents the Cp over Cv of the fluid. So maybe if another fluid type applied, for sure different result will be obtained. And here is T is the amplitude. And please remember this parameter, because we will now study the result as per this amplitude, and this is the forcing frequency. Oh. Now moving toward the chaos and bifurcation. What's the meaning of chaos? Chaos refers to irregular and disorderly phenomena. Alright? Now, bifurcation is an alternative, let's say, phenomenon that can be used to describe the change in the significant change in the trajectories of the nonlinear dynamical system. So mainly these 2 things are studied for nonlinear systems to make sure that there is no chaotic behavior, which we do not need. So let's see and examine, will our system have a chaotic behavior in our range of study, or it will not? Now, the bifurcation diagram can be plotted by using the plot between the applied forcing amplitude as well the displacement. So here is the bifurcation diagram, and it is exactly the same as per Vergas 2017. I have found that it is the same. What is this relation gives you? What is this plot gives you? It shows that there is a chaotic behavior in the higher range of amplitudes. However, for low range of amplitudes, there is no. So, where are we standing? Are we in the higher or in the lower? Basically, we are here in very low amount of P. What amount of P we have used here? We sent a wave with 136 decibel. This 136 decibel represent here on the P scale 0.03. That means we are almost on the 0, and here the relation is not chaotic, it is almost period. So here we can confirm that our system is safe and away from chaotic behavior. Phase portraits are a different also, let's say, plots that can also describe the chaotic behavior of any certain system. The phase portraits will show the relation between the displacement as well as the velocity for a certain system. Let's see the phase portrait. Will the phase portrait match with this result, or it will be different? Basically, here is the phase portrait, which represents, as mentioned, the displacement as well as the velocity of the mass of the spring, or of the mass of the Helmholtz resonator. And we see there is a bias for high amplitude, which what value of amplitude equals 7.0, which is very far from our case of study. However, here in the very low, which is 0.02, which is also higher than our level, but let's see also, let's say that this one also closer. Here, the behavior is almost periodic, or let's say quasi-periodic. So, yes, both results match each other, the phase portraits as well as the bifurcation. And they are matched with various results in 2017. Now, I have also checked out what is the relation between the frequency as well as the displacement. How the resonance frequency will change as per changing the displacement. There is very interesting curve here found in figure number 14. There is simultaneous softening and hardening behavior of the system. What I mean in simultaneous softening and hardening? Basically, softening means as the forcing amplitude increases, the resonance frequency decreases. As we see here, it goes to the left. Here it was 0.5, 0.75, 1. It goes to the left as we increase. Then it converts to a hardening behavior. What I mean in the hardening behavior, I mean that as we increase the forcing amplitude, the resonance frequency also increases. So this is a very interesting behavior of such system. Lastly, before finishing this phase of study, let's see the time history. Well, the time history also tells the same, that chaotic behavior can be obtained at high level of forcing amplitude, however, periodic at low. The answer is yes. Here is the chaotic pattern for time history at E equal 10. You can see it is almost a chaotic. However, for the low amplitude, it is almost periodic. So it also matched with the previous and with various 2017 results. Finishing his work. Now let's move to my work. What I contributed to his work. The dual Helmholtz resonator, nonlinear. So you can say I took the dual linear, which we found by Selamet in the previous phase, and I took the nonlinearity, which is now found by variance. I combined them to find out here, to enhance the performance of the system. This is the main purpose of my study. I would like to see what will be the behavior of the system if you apply the nonlinearity. The governing equation of motion followed by the results will be shown here. This is the mass, or this is the Helmholtz resonator under applied force P cosine omega t. Also here the P represents the forcing amplitude. The first, here we can represent this system by mass spring system. Here is the mass, which is the length, the stiffness, the damping, and here is the other. It's nothing new basically, gentlemen, but here the parameters are non-linear. What is the equation of motion for each? This is the first equation of motion for the first term, which is the mass, the damping, the stiffness, and the applied force. What is the equation of motion for the other? It's also the mass, damping, stiffness. Here is the coupled terms. However, here is the pure damping and the stiffness for the other Helmholtz resonators. So, after solving these two equations, and let's look at the parameters before talking about the results. Here are the parameters. This is the matrix of acceleration, matrix of velocity, and here is the coupling, matrix of displacement, the forcing, mass, damping, and so on. We see also the parameters are now familiar for us because the same almost familiar and the same parameters have been used in the previous study. Also here, the table number 3 also shows these parameters for equation number 10. And again, this is the linear natural frequency, which we found before. Now, let's see the results. What type of results? I have examined the same analysis. I checked the chaos, firstly, the phase portraits, the frequency, and the time. How will the system behave? Will it be different, or it will be close to the previous study which has been done by variance? Let's see the chaos. This is the chaos or the bifurcation diagram. We see here two colors, refers to red and blue for the displacement of each mass and cavity. So here the first one is represented by blue and the second one represented by red. We see here, gentlemen, that the behavior is chaotic for high range of amplitude. So yes, it matches with the previous study that for high range of amplitudes, the system behaves in a chaotic manner. However, for low values of amplitude, it is only also periodic, so we are in the same range. Let's look at the portraits, also the same. Here the first portraits, which is describing the relation between the velocity and displacement, tells that there is a chaotic behavior for higher value, which is 7. However, it moves to the quasi-periodic almost for the low range of applied force, which is 0.2. So here we obtain that, yes, our system will not have a chaotic behavior for our range of study. Let's look at the frequency. What we expect? Basically, we expect that we will have two resonance frequencies, as per also the linear, but they will not be identical. Because of what? Because of the nonlinearity. The nonlinearity will add some unstable on the curves. What I mean, you can see here, this is the first resonance frequency and here is the second. And because of numerical solution, it cannot show that it goes like this, then coming back. If we apply it analytically, it can be shown that this curve goes like this, then going back like here, then going here and going back here. So here is the first resonance frequency and here is the second. This is for the first mass spring system and this is for the second mass spring system. So we have dual or two resonance frequencies behaving in linear and nonlinear behavior. Here we see that there is a stable solution for the represented by the consecutive points and there is discontinuities. Now, before finishing this phase, let's see the time history. Will we have chaotic behavior also for high range and periodic for low range, or what will we have? Yes, here we see that this is the time history for high range of amplitude. P equal 10, we see there are two colors because of two mass and two Helmholtz resonators, and we see that the system behaves in a chaotic behavior, means disorder, irregular behavior. However, for low range of forcing, it goes to periodic almost behavior, and here is the amplitude of the second mass spring system, and here is the first mass spring system. Finalizing this phase, the remaining phases are two, which will be talking about energy transfer. Firstly, we will see what Vargas in 2018 have done in his work, then we will see what I have added. Before starting, what I mean in the energy transfer. Energy transfer means we transfer energy from one acoustical mode to another using some apparatus called contour, which is invented in 19th century, and it's here being used for energy transfer. Now let's see the equation of motion. This is, firstly we'll talk about the equation of motion followed by the results. The equation of motion for this apparatus, which is the contour, this is the tube, and this is the coupling box. Here is our Helmholtz resonator. In this system, we can see that we have a two system coupled with each other. Now, what is the equation of motion for each? The equation of motion for this mass spring system is here. Mass, damping, stiffness, and here there is applied force, which is the speaker times the area, which is here, P loudspeaker times the area here, which is the area of the neck, minus the pressure of the coupling box times the area. So I don't need you to be confused that this is like a dual Helmholtz resonator. It's not, because this is not acting like a spring and here is the mass. No, this is all together. This is a tube, is a mass spring system, and the coupling box is only used for coupling the both terms. The equation of motion for this Helmholtz resonator, it's exactly the same as used in the before a previous study, which is the nonlinear analysis for single Helmholtz resonator. However, only one additional term has been added here, which is the pressure of the coupling box multiplied by the area, which is nothing than the coupling term between both equations. So let's see the results. What type of results we will look at? Basically, we will see will this Helmholtz resonator contribute, or let's say help, in order to attenuate in a faster behavior, or it will be almost the same. Secondly, we will see the frequency history and the time history. So here is the parameters. Let's see the results. Here we see that as per this figure, the blue represent the response of the system without Helmholtz resonator. However, in the red, it represents the response of the system with coupled with Helmholtz resonator. As we see, the attenuation is much faster in case of the coupling theory. However, it takes more time if the contour is capped from the side of Helmholtz resonator. Let's look at the frequency history. Will also have a less attenuation or more attenuation. We can see here from the frequency history that in red, where the coupling term has been applied, that the attenuation is more. That means the amplitude is less. However, if the coupling term is capped or decoupled, the system has more attenuation. So what about the time history? The time history is also the same. The amplitude is higher in case of decoupling. However, it goes to a lower amplitude for the case of coupling with Helmholtz resonator. So this is the work that has been done by Vergas 2018 for the energy transfer. Now, let's look about my contribution for his work. I had studied his work, and I also decided to apply the nonlinearity of a dual Helmholtz resonator instead of single, and applying the energy transfer in that case. Let's see. Here is the energy transfer for dual Helmholtz resonator. It will also be conducted as per coupling of the dual Helmholtz resonator with the cone Q. The governing equation of motion will be now derived. Then the results we will look at. Let's see at the governing equation of motion. This apparatus identify our system. Here is the cone Q. This is the first mass spring system, which is the first Helmholtz resonator. I added this one. So what will be the effect? We expect right now that there will be a three coupled equations, nonlinear, ordinary differential equation coupled to each other, and we will examine their results. This is the first equation, which already defined in the previous section. This is the second equation, but it has some new term, which is the coupling with the other Helmholtz resonator, and this is the last equation of motion for the last Helmholtz resonator. Tables 4 and 5 and 6 represent the parameters for each, as we see here, the acceleration, damping, velocity, stiffness, displacement, all parameters which are almost familiar to our system. Now, let's see these three coupled equations. What will the system behave? Will it be the same, or it will have some change? Basically, when I have plotted the response using MATLAB, I found that yes, the system without coupling Helmholtz resonator takes more time and attenuates in a slower manner. However, for both systems with single Helmholtz resonator or dual Helmholtz resonator, there is no much additional for that case. They are almost with the same range of attenuation. So this is the first result that we can obtain, that there is no any, let's say not any, but in this case, there is not that much additional of adding the dual Helmholtz resonator for the contour and coupling. Let's see at the frequency history will also tells the same, that both are almost the same behavior, or what? Yes, here in this frequency history, the behavior of the single or dual is almost the same. However, for the decoupled Helmholtz resonator is different, which is higher. Lastly is the time history, also the same, that the system without Helmholtz resonator, the amplitude is higher. However, for single or dual Helmholtz resonator is almost the same. Not exactly, but there's small difference. After finishing this non-linear term, let's see the conclusion of this study. Firstly, we saw in the linear term that the range of resonance frequency shrunk while increasing the area ratio. This is the first observation that we have found. The second thing, that the homoclonic orbits, which means the chaotic behavior, is not shown in the low range of forcing amplitude. The third thing is the softening and hardening behavior. The system behaves in a softening way for low range of amplitude. However, it converts to hardening for higher range of amplitude. The before last conclusion point is talking about the nonlinear. It is possible to activate nonlinear term for transferring energy from one acoustical mode to another, which is also identified by Bergas. Last thing, that adding in terms of energy transfer, there is no much benefits of adding dual Helmholtz resonator for the cone tube instead of adding single Helmholtz resonator. And thank you.
Thank you, Maher. Please, gentlemen, if you have any question, share it with us. We have now the session of the Q&A. Any question? Please. He talked for 30 minutes. I am sure there is some maybe notes or something.
The view with the energy transfer. It's kind of interesting, you know, the way you add it and the way it's increasing the generation. And it looks like more like the optimization and modification of the system.
Yes.
That's all that
Basically, I tried to find that there is improvement. But you know, from science point of view, you don't expect, you always that if you add something that the system behaves in a better way. So I applied it for different cases. I didn't mention that I changed the parameters of each Helmholtz resonator. Sometimes I increases the first one, for example, the area, the volume, and so on. Then I make it vice versa, the second one. I tried several cases, but I found that they are almost behaving with the same way.
Any question? Please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to ask that for the dual case, for the low range of E, it is very small, the linear one. Then it goes to chaos.
Yes.
So what is the frequency response? Because I could not see, I only saw it for the chaos case. Hardened, you only saw one case for the dual one.
Yeah.
Is there softening for this, for the dual case?
Basically, for the frequency response, it has a hardening, but you know, non-linearity solution takes more and more time, especially if it is applied for dual Helmholtz resonator.
Yes.
So if we apply it for broader range of resonance frequency, maybe we will obtain. And you can find here.
No, I'm just telling that you showed for only one value of E.
Yeah.
You showed only for one value. What
Yeah,
is-
because frequency history basically is shown at one value of P. Because in the frequency history, you see. Yeah.
Yeah, you see.
You see here, so there's displacement and natural frequency. The frequency represented by applying certain value of P. Because our study is a low range of forcing amplitude. So here we find, you can say it's hardening, but we cannot say it purely like that, because this solution, you see, it's not stable. So even from here, this point, if it only goes a little bit to the left and then to the right, we can say this also has a softening behavior. So from this curve, we cannot say clearly that there's a hardening also.
So what will happen if you change the P now to some other value?
Basically, if you increases the P, also the system will have also resonance frequencies, but at a different range.
Yeah, that's fine.
So at our certain of level, which is P equal less than 0.1, I applied it here to find out these two resonance frequencies. And you know, talking about higher forcing amplitude is practical. It's still practical, but in our case of the study, because we are talking about ducting system and small, we can say we don't need it. But for a different application, maybe oil or something like that, we need to examine the system behavior for higher forcing amplitudes.
Any questions? Okay, gentlemen, now it will be the time for committee defense. So as the regulation, this should be a block between the committee and the presenter. So please let us meet outside and